People ask Reddit, what's a job that you just associate with jerks? Paparazzi. Blake Lively recently posted saying, "Oh, look at these pictures. It looks like I'm smiling and happy, but that's because it was the only way I could get this man to stop stalking me and my young children who were freaked out. They're horrible." I think Halle Berry has advocated for a law that prevents paparazzi from photographing celebrities' children. Kirsten Bell and Dax Shepard got all celebrities to stop talking to any media outlets that published pictures of celeb kids. One red carpet where every single celebrity walked past the major magazines without speaking or interviewing, and there was no more child photos. Damn. Just one more reason to love Kristen Bell. The video where Tobey Maguire is trying to pull out of a parking garage but they're blocking him in pretty much sums it up. I forget what actress it was, but she was surrounded by paparazzi and one of those dickheads kept intentionally hitting her arm. And when she finally pushed back, they all started snapping photos like crazy. He was trying to goad her into a reaction to make her look like an asshole. They are the fucking worst. There's similar footage of Amy Winehouse. In one they were calling her a cunt to get a reaction. There was a photo of her being popped at like 3 a.m., with bleeding feet and her face was damaged. Poor girl just needed help. Edit, spelling. Every surgeon I've ever met was either one of the kindest, noblest, most intelligent people on the planet or a ducking sociopath. Reply. Worked for/with surgeons for 4 years. I confirm this. Also, age doesn't mean anything. God complex is really a thing in that field. Totally get why being able to legally split people in half and then put it back together and make them remain alive can develop in a God complex. Yeah. During their studies, they are being told again and again how they are the most important and skilled people in the world. Then, they work in the field that brings in the most money to the hospital, so the hospital directors will try to never upset them so they don't leave to another place. But I worked in IT and several times I've had to explain to surgeons that no, I cannot simply do a select all to gather all the data of all the past surgeries of their hospital. The said sociopaths think they master every field where they barely have any knowledge. /edit, I know that residency is very hard and they are abused and overworked. The said sociopaths think they master every field where they barely have any knowledge. /edit, I know that residency is very hard and they are abused and overworked. I feel sorry for surgery residents. It is outrageous that human beings can be treated like they are. I have immense respect for all of those who survive residency and all still mentally stable. Surgeon here, for everyone saying yeah I wouldn't mind having an overconfident sociopath work on me, trust me, you do. The cocky surgeons are the ones who take the biggest risks and feel the least amount of empathy when considering the potential consequences. Not to mention they crush the morale of their support team, which can often psych them out at critical moments. My talent comes from years' hard work, not unearned arrogance, and more importantly I am comfortable enough with my own fallibility to double/triple check instead of just rolling the dice. Not controlling your ego is what gets people hurt and makes for a miserable work environment for everyone else around you. It's a shame that surgeons are associated with being jerks, and it's an even bigger shame that most of them deserve it. I worked in pathology/lab for a hospital. Surgeons are some of the most bizarre critters you will ever meet. They would call and demand to know why results for a test they ordered were not in. 1. Bacteria takes time to grow, and 2. The nurse/tech/LPN has not sent/brought/drawn the samples yet. Therefore I cannot give you results for samples I don't have. They didn't get it. I confirm. I work in microbiology and some doctor want me to grow bacteria faster. Sure man, let me go grab my time machine. I work in entertainment. Talent agents and managers top the list, then some talent themselves. Reply. Had to scroll too far for this one. They are paid to be the jerk so their client doesn't have to be. This is indeed a fact in a lot of cases. But having been in the biz almost 20 years now, it ain't how it used to be. You attract more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. It's much easier to close deals and get what you want when you're easy to work with. But in my experience, the bigger the jerk, the lower profile the talent is. I bet that the reason the careers of certain promising actors fizzled out and they never reached the heights of fame they could have is because of jerky or bitchy behavior. There's always someone coming up behind you who's just as talented and attractive and who doesn't bring the baggage of being a nightmare to deal with. That's a winning bet, my friend. Time is money, and if you're wasting both, you start falling off consideration lists fast. Especially with social media these days, word spreads fast to fans and potential employers. Even those at the top of their game know what's up. Beyoncé is known to always be on time and very professional. I used to sell oil rig equipment. I never met anyone who ran a rig that wasn't a complete twat. Reply: my mom's widower was an oil rig manager. Dumbass had a 10th grade education and lucked out making around $300,000 a year. After the Horizon oil rig disaster, they had new regulations and he refused to go over hypothetical accident scenarios on a conference call because my crew would never make a mistake and hung up on his company's compliance guy. So he was already in hot water. Then one of the higher-ups from corporate was visiting his rig. They were having a meal and the corporate guy was trying to get to know him and make small talk and was talking about how he enjoyed hunting and riding ATVs and whatnot. Asked the rig manager what his hobbies were and this dumb fuck straight face says I like to fight, duck, and drink. Asked the rig manager what his hobbies were and this dumb fuck straight face says I like to fight, duck, and drink. I've worked with a few really great guys but you're right. So many a-holes. And divas. We had a guy quit because he didn't think we, the engineers, needed to run a certain piece of equipment. Didn't really affect him in any way and threw a big stink. Said, I don't think I need to work here and walked off a $1,750 per day job. I used to work with contractors on oil rigs. I was helping them with computer stuff and the dude asks me to use little letters or big letters. Edit. Just to clarify, he had a heavy country accent working in West Texas. I doubt he was foreign. A friend was doing tech support as an intern and someone asked him capital or not. Talking about a number. And it usually works out that nice boys that weren't a complete twat became one simply because they worked on the rigs. I knew sweet boys that became awful, poison men. The conditions, the pay, the food, the suck up or duck off attitude, it turns good boys into self-centered men and assholes partners. It always broke my heart seeing it happen. I took one of those tests that tells what you should do for a living. It said I should be an attorney or an IRS agent, so clearly I am in a hole. As an attorney, we're severely underrepresented in this thread. Someone will hear from my lawyer about this. You just know the lawyer a lawyer hires is going to be a top tier a hole. I think the lawyer that represents himself is probably the bigger a hole. And has a fool for a client. Car salesman. Estate agent. Door-to-door sales. Reply: too many experiences to count with how their attitude changes right after they close a sale. Or when they realize the sale ain't going to happen. As a kid, I can remember a pushy woman selling encyclopedias giving my parents a half-hour sales pitch in our kitchen. When it became clear to her that my dad wasn't biting, she got downright pissy. Worked in car sales for 2 years. Couldn't get out of it fast enough. I felt like a sleazeball, and I was the most honest salesman on the lot by a country mile. Whoever calls the shots at the insurance company. Edit. Oh, the irony. Was just on my way to get CT scan because my doc says I need one and was called and told it was denied. Here we go again. Glad I've been paying these huge premiums for 20 years. Reply: sis-in-law had her appendix burst while she was out of town. Insurance is refusing to cover it because she didn't go to one of the preferred doctors. There were of course no preferred doctors in the area and it's the last thing on your mind when you're in that much pain. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.